Hello, everybody, and welcome to Controller Slot B, the show where I make Castlevania references right before the episode starts to throw Rat off guard. Rat is here, and we're doing a show. What's going on, Rat?
What is up, man? I'm doing all right. I'm waking up. I'm here. I'm alive. I breathe occasionally. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty fantastic.
I also like breathing. It's a good hobby. But what do we got? What do you got going on, Rat? What's good? What's going on in the Rat Land, over in the Rat Cave?
Ratland is existing. I breathe. I don't know. I've been streaming again. I've actually gotten back into streaming. It's been going well. Overall, very fun. I feel
seem-
like
You seem very enthusiastic about streaming recently.
I really like streaming.
Yeah.
I enjoy streaming. I don't know. It's been fun to go ahead and get into it. We had a viewer come in and thank for the positive vibes or something, so that was very fun. They barely pop in for streams, but they pop in for a stream specifically for that. So I don't know. Life is good.
Yeah. You put off good vibes, man. I don't know what to tell you. There's good stuff in there.
We'll see. I don't know about that. I don't know about all that.
Especially, you are especially talented once you consider the fact that you're mostly asleep when you do things.
You know what? You know what? You turn it around. I feel it. I understand. I got that. I got you. I got what you're spitting now.
Yeah. All right. So what are we gonna hop into here? What catches your fancy on this topic list here?
Hey, I really enjoy that Microsoft had to go ahead and tell players not to vape into the Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this rule came about because someone did it. Obviously, there's video of it out there, and I assume they placed a report with Microsoft after their Xbox shitted itself 2 days into owning it because they vaped into it. But yeah, don't blow vape smoke into your Xbox. I don't know. It's like when you look at a pool and they're like, "Hey, don't dive into the 1 foot deep end." And it's like, that's so stupid and given that someone has to have done it for that to be there.
So what really fucks me up about it? Xbox. This is an official tweet on the official Xbox thing that says, "We can't believe we have to say this, but please don't blow vape smoke into your Xbox Series X."
I've never heard a brand account sound so disappointed.
Like, oh my god. I'm looking at some of the videos now. It's bad. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I feel just like
I feel so bad for like the social media manager has to post that, and one of his higher ups has to tell him people are vaping into their Xboxes, and he just has to tweet that.
Well, it's like it's the top fan. The top fan can go ahead and do some really interesting things, right?
Yeah. I've seen people balance ping pong balls on it. It's cool.
Evidently, that might be fake too.
Is that fake?
Because yeah. I mean, the reason why I think it might be fake is that it's a there's the fan doesn't run 24/7, or at least maybe it does. I'm not entirely sure. I don't own an Xbox Series X.
It should only run under load.
Yeah, and the curvature of that thing isn't enough to go ahead and do that. Right? The curvature of that isn't enough to go and do that thing. I've seen ping pong balls be captured in a vacuum. I forget what it's actually called. But the way that they've done it in the past, they've had to go ahead and use like 4 hair dryers on high, right? And there's no way. And like it's 5 hair dryers on high, all pointed at the ping pong ball, and there's no way that works, right? Unfortunately,
Yeah.
But evidently the original, the original Xbox Series X smoking thing, vape coming out of it was actually oh look, my Xbox Series X is fucked or whatever, right? And they blew it. But evidently they what they did is they blew smoke into the intake.
Yeah. To make it appear as though the Xbox was fucked.
Yeah, exactly. But evidently, that's not real. So,
yeah.
If someone actually loses their Xbox for that, I have zero upset. I don't care about it. You're done.
Yeah,
you screwed up, dude.
I don't know what possesses someone to go, hey, I'm gonna go out and buy a new console, and I'm gonna blow smoke into it for an internet hoax. Why? What do you gain?
You goof up, yeah.
Exactly. I don't know, man. And I've heard rumors that outside of like one specific thing of the PS5 officially confirmed to have like a memory leak issue. Outside of that, which is probably going to be patched in like a day if it's not already patched, but outside of that, this has been an extremely smooth launch for both of these consoles, all things considered, in terms of actual hardware problems.
I mean, both consoles have been around for long enough that I'm sure they won't screw this up too bad. They won't screw the pooch, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at this and then I think back to like when the PS3 and Xbox 360 launched and how horribly that went for Microsoft at least, and how not exactly perfect it was for Sony. And looking at that in specific, I'm like, hey, we've got it pretty good now with these consoles. You could probably buy a console on day one and have about a 90% chance it'll turn on and work. And if we're not living in the future with that, I don't know what is, honestly.
90% is a lot better than a lot of other things. I had an Xbox 360 and we went through two of them before we found if I had one that actually didn't die immediately, but that was at the end of the Xbox 360's lifespan, so I'm sure that one's on its way out. We just don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I had one of the newer model Xbox 360s, which I bought after my original one shit itself. But I think it was like the third or fourth rendition of it they did, and that thing is resilient. Like, it's been around a decade or so, and it's fine. Still works, still operable, which is more than I can say for any other Xbox 360 model.
Yeah, no, I like my first one died during some. I can't even remember why my first one died, but they all died during multiplayer games, and they're like, they made the same sound. It was the same sound where they went, and
the next Xbox lets out a dying scream.
Yeah, it wasn't even a dying scream, just a and there you go, you're done.
Just
We went through 3.
And then away it goes. Oh my goodness. But yeah, smooth console launch. The PS5 is. I knew it was big. Everybody knew it was big, but now that I'm seeing it compared to household items, I'm like, that's a big console right there.
My sister just informed me that I'm a big fat dirty liar, and we went through 5 Xbox consoles.
5, Jesus Christ. Also, I don't dialing it back for a second. I didn't think about what I was saying until I said it. And I'm starting to think we're not only living in the future, but a dystopian future where I have to sit here and be surprised that day one I can buy a product and it works.
That is bad, isn't it?
That is kind of bad. I can't think of many other industries that release a new thing and then thing is broken for a while.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a thing we have to consider. Yeah. The thing that we bought works. Cool beans.
Dude, I can't imagine a future where I have to fucking like get a day one patch for a cheese grater or something. That's everything. Pretty much every other industry doesn't have this problem. It's solely video games, as far as I've seen.
They've released smart sneakers now, so like you can buy a smart sneaker that's connected to the internet and has programming. So I imagine one day
3D feet pics as soon as you put it on.
Oh, thank fucking God! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what I've been on.
Yeah, full 3D models of your own feet.
Finally, full 3D models of my own feet. I can finally sleep at night knowing that my feet are ready to go.
You could 3D print your own feet if you so well chose. I don't know why you would, but that's an option. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think I get smart sneakers. I don't get the point. People were talking about the future and how, like, this has been like a running thing in the future is high-tech shoes. Why? Why do you need tech in your shoes? What is the point?
This is not the future you wanted.
I don't want to be in the feet future.
I want out of this feet future.
Yeah, let me out. I don't want to be in the feet-centric timeline.
Oh, no, not the feet-centric timeline. Yeah, I'm sick of it. 100% sick of it. Sick of what any of this means.
Oh, I just realized I removed the wrong thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, we did cover both of those. We covered the Xbox and PS5 kind of being well received, and
Look at that.
yeah.
And then also don't.
Yeah, and also don't vape into your new console. Don't.
Look at that, bam.
Yeah. Look at us blasting away through the episode. What were you saying?
Hey, idiot. What? Vox. What's V... Stop. What's VRChat Kmart?
What's VRChat Kmart?
This is your shit. What is that? Tell me about VRChat Kmart, because Kmart doesn't even exist in the real world.
Oh, does it? Does it not? Is that not a thing?
Kmart doesn't exist.
All right. What I'm gonna ask you to do now on the show? No,
that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Go on. That's a lie. They don't.
I'm gonna ask you to open Discord and go to join a server real quick, just temporarily, just to have a look around in there. 34
stores.
Only 34.
Only 4 stores. I can guarantee you, VRChat Kmart is still alive.
Is that is that normal Kmarts, or is that including like offshoots like Big K and stuff like that?
Normal Kmart. All Kmarts. There's only 34 Kmarts.
Only 34. I can't wait to dig up the last Kmart in 100 years.
You want to work? Do you want to go work at a Kmart?
In fact, I do. Through the power of the internet.
Okay, I'm in join a server.
Yeah, I need you to join this server. It's the invite link, and I shit you not, the invite link is discord.gg/Kmart. And I implore everyone viewing this episode right now, if you're sitting at your desk, whatever you're doing while this is tabbed out, tab back in and go to discord.gg/Kmart. And while Rat... Yep. Oh, never mind, he's already got it.
What is this?
Yeah, dude.
What do you mean?
It is the most eclectic, like, the most... I don't even have a phrase for it, but it is so in-depth, this roleplay that they have of this man, right? He used to work at Kmart, and he 3D scanned a bunch of stuff from Kmart and built a model of the inside of a Kmart in SketchUp, and then ported it to VRChat. And suddenly, there's a community. And so now there are Kmart employees in VR. It's insane.
Do they work at Kmart?
They don't work at a real Kmart. They just work in the virtual Kmart.
Like, I've done the roleplay. I've done a roleplay before. I understand.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I get the point.
Doesn't make this any better.
I'm not sure I get the point of working at a Kmart. I just joined because I was like, hey, this will make for a funny story to tell on the podcast. But I don't get why your average Joe Schmo would want to work at Kmart in VR.
I barely want to work at all.
Yeah, exactly.
In real life.
But no,
maybe it's different in game.
Yeah, they do cool stuff occasionally. It's really in depth with the stuff you can interact with. They have like training videos on YouTube. You can look this up. But like it's so in depth. Like, I'll report back next week once I officially am a Kmart associate. Right now, I'm technically an employee in training, but next week I'll come back to you with tales from VRChat Kmart. But I wanted to take an opportunity to introduce this madness that I've found.
I'm just gonna have to get VRChat at this point. I'm gonna get an Oculus Quest. I'm gonna spend $300 on Oculus Quest. I'm gonna yell at my boy, and I'm gonna spend $200 on a rat model. And then when it's all said and done, then we're gonna go ahead and hang out in VRChat.
Yeah, here's what you could do. VRChat has a desktop mode, so if you want to pop in at some point and see if you like it out of VR before you hop in VR and spend $500 on it, that'd be probably a great decision.
Well, I'm still gonna get an Oculus Quest at the end of the day, so we'll see how things go. I might just pick up VRChat for the shits and giggles.
It's a free game.
Is it free?
Free
I always
game.
thought it was like
Yeah.
$20.
No, it's a free
I
game.
always thought it was $20.
A lot of
Oh,
VR
dude.
titles are like 20 or $40, but it's a free game you can get and play through the power of the internet.
How does VRChat make money?
It's a good question. They officially support having custom models made. So
Yeah.
I assume they somehow make money because there's a whole industry about that of people commissioning and getting models done and stuff. Because 3D modeling is a really in-depth thing, and it's practically witchcraft to me. But anyway, I'm not sure how they make their money now that I'm actually thinking about it. There's a massive viewer base there. There aren't ads in it anywhere. It's just kind of a thing.
See, Second Life. It's weird that we're getting into Second Life again. Here we are.
Back to Second Life.
Back to Second Life. So Second Life has an odd thing going for it. Is that Second Life used to have a pedigree, right? Second Life had sponsors from big name companies. And when I say big name companies, I'm talking about like Nike,
like Kmart,
and Sony, and yeah, sure, Kmart, I'm sure. But the deal is that Nike and Sony and all that would go ahead and actually go out of the way to go ahead and make storefronts in Second Life, right? That people could go to and order real Nike supplies and then fake Nike supplies and stuff like that.
It's so weird.
And you could work at these places and make real money. Nowadays, people still make money in Second Life, right?
Yeah.
But like to see like Neo Second Life in VRChat, and I'm wondering, it's like, okay, what's the first big company to say, hey, hold on a second, who's gonna do that, right?
Yeah.
So keep an eye out. We'll see official Second Life 2 Electric Boogaloo stuff happen eventually.
It's funny. I don't do Second Life. I've viewed Second Life at a far distance through a bulletproof shield. I have not gone into Second Life, and I probably won't. I mean, I don't know. It may be worth a try, but it feels like VRChat, from an insider of VRChat knowing hardly anything about Second Life, it feels like that's the next kind of evolution of it. Because I get the concept of Second Life, but like I don't know if the community lines up the same way. But yeah, VR storefronts would be neat. I mean, I guess it has to have something to do with the fact that there's like several 100,000 concurrent players at a time. Not probably that high, but like somewhere in the thousands.
Something like that.
Because you can hop around from like world to world and you'll never run into the same people twice. The odds of that happening are slim to none.
That's what Second Life feels like. I'm surprised that Second Life still exists because of the weird limitations on the platform, but people still play it.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, it's the same shit.
It's strange how Second Life kind of survives like that. I don't think I've ever seen Second Life go down, even though like I'm not a part of the community. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, but you know, people keep bringing Second Life up to me like once every fucking 2 or 3 years, and I'm like, that's still a thing. And lo and behold, it's still a thing.
It exists. It's a
not
real
going
thing
anywhere.
now. Not going anywhere. Not anytime soon, at least, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
But you know, it self-sustains. There's a lot of issues with it, but people are doing it. I'm sure VRChat. I hope VRChat outlasts Second Life, because VRChat does not outlast Second Life. That's the end of that. But they've got a Kmart there. That would end Kmart's reign.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted to double check. I knew they weren't bankrupt because I Googled it. And I'm like, are Kmart not the slightest bit bothered about this? I mean, why would they be? But like from an outside perspective, you wouldn't think that, hey, like one dude made this. And then there are like several hundred dudes under him that work at virtual Kmart.
Yeah.
You would think, hey, maybe this is like an officially sanctioned thing, because why Kmart? If you're not Kmart, why would you want to build a virtual Kmart? But someone did it. And that's the beauty of VRChat, is that anyone can make anything at any time.
Maybe Kmart will realize that the real money is in virtual storefronts.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they do cool events. Like, I remember the first time I went there, it was Halloween. I went to virtual Kmart.
Oh my god.
Because I had nothing going on Halloween.
The Holiday of Our Lord, yeah.
Yeah, and they did they had like a spooky ambiance about it where they played slowed down creepy music and like old Kmart ads, and they dimmed the lighting just a bit and emptied out the store, like the store shelves and stuff, and it was spooky.
I don't like that.
Like it was a whole vibe, and it was
I'm
weird.
not feeling that. That spooks me out.
And that Halloween version of Kmart is still accessible. They go through the trouble of archiving these things. They're Kmart archives. But I don't know. It's so weird. I added this to the topic list, and I got into this VRChat Kmart shit just because I knew, hey, I could probably go off about this for 20 minutes on the podcast. But Jesus Christ, it's much more in depth than I ever could have imagined.
Oh God! All right, yeah, you've torn my arm off. We'll be looking at that eventually.
Heck yeah. A bunch of people in the Team Pixel Sunset community, slowly over time, I'm starting to coax more and more people into getting into VR, and it's amazing.
I'm just gonna have to spend $5,000 on a thing, and you'll be like, "Hey, look at this,
$5,000,
you idiot, you absolute fool!"
Hey, look at where my life savings went.
Look at my life savings. I say, looking at my several thousand commissions.
A second mortgage was taken out on this thing.
There's some suspiciously rich furries that just have too many commissions. They always show up, and I'm like, why? How?
It's so odd. It's like I want to meet the man who has like $1,000 or so to drop on one piece of art that is very oddly specific.
Oh God, there's a few of them. There's a brain surgeon that does some very, very specific art involving Falco and Fox.
Oh, I've heard about this one. Yeah,
he's a brain surgeon.
He's a brain surgeon. Imagine knowing about this, right? And you have to have brain surgery, and it's that guy.
Dude, if he makes that much money, he's probably a pretty okay brain surgeon.
Yeah, I would trust that man with my life.
I'm like, hey, are you the guy?
Big Falco Fox guy with my life, absolutely.
Are you the big Falco Fox guy? He'll whisper in my ear, yes, and he'll take me into the back room.
There are worse people on the internet.
Oh, I can guarantee you that. Speaking of the internet,
oh boy,
hey, Twitch's DMCA is getting weird.
Yeah, they're getting a little wet and wild with it, and it's kind of upsetting a bunch of people. I'm not that bothered by it because I don't get flagged that often, and I probably won't for the foreseeable future. But
for several years, yes. It's so what is it? Let me go and actually take a look at this.
Yeah, have you seen
I've heard about it. It hit my thing. It was a Twitch support thing. Let's take a peek at this. Right,
Twitch just cannot go like a week or two without saying some extra shit that they really don't need to, and just angering the community.
Let me take a look.
Yeah.
So it's thanks for at official Dabier. What? Okay, Dabby. Dabby goes in and replies to Twitch saying, "So what about music in game? The biggest game is about to drop next month, and we'll have to mute all music entirely and ruin the experience in the game." And then Twitch support goes and says, "Hey there, thanks for reaching out. We recommend reading through any of the game's EULA and utilizing any option to turn off the music if the game includes that option, or mute the game's audio." So this means that the EULA, right, the extended usage or whatever it is,
end user license agreement,
end user license agreement includes information about the music, right? Well, that's good. Who reads it other than me?
Yeah. Who's actually going to go through and enforce this? Because we talked about this last week. Enforcing copyright law on Twitch streamers is not a great idea, or content creators in general, just because you're losing free advertisement that way.
Yeah, I mean, in my head, right, I basically know that Twitch is just trying to keep their shit together, and they're still a lot less draconic than YouTube is. I've already explained this to death last time, but like whatever happens at this point. I'm really glad that they're actually happy to go ahead and like make a mention of this. This is an awful take, however.
Yeah, completely repugnant. I agree.
Yeah, it's completely stressful. It is repugnant. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Especially since some people are getting muted for things like uh police sirens and stuff like that, and grandfather clocks ticking or whatever, and
Hmm.
that's going to be a problem. Maybe more than likely, I think that this is going to be. I think some mutes can go ahead and be fought. Like and let me actually double check. I want to make sure because I actually played an extensive amount of music during my last stream, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I don't think I got struck, right? Um, and the reason why I don't think I got struck, yeah, no, I didn't get struck, is because I hand selected all of the music in the VOD, right? I made sure
Hmm.
that the music that I was doing was that. So maybe they can go ahead and make sound effects is not going to be the huge problem,
Yeah.
right? And it's whatever, right? We'll have to see. At the end of the day, we're going to just have to see where this goes from here.
Right. And I don't think, now that I've had more time to stew on it and think about it, and
Yeah,
read this tweet multiple times, I don't think this is an intentionally bad thing from Twitch. I don't think they would do that. And specifically reading the tweet, it doesn't feel like they know what they're saying by, or implying by saying this. It just feels like kind of out of touch and just, hey, I need to put together a quick support response to this question. Here you go.
it does feel a little bit canned, and it's just here you go, you're done.
Yeah, it
Put it
feels like
together.
a canned response almost, but it's still not great. And I
I can
understand
accept it.
that because I don't know if you know this, but Twitch hemorrhages money. Like
Yeah,
that's not Amazon's moneymaker by far. So I can understand making compromises with DMCA's and stuff and copyright to be able to keep the lights on and keep the platform afloat. I would much rather have to mute music every now and again than just not be able to stream on Twitch as a platform.
yeah, and I don't think that's going to be the issue.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be an issue much longer because a lot of people have come out and said, "Hey, no, this is stupid. Here's a better solution." And I'm sure Twitch is gonna pick one of those and make it better somehow. But for now, this is where we're standing. This is where we're at. And hopefully next week they won't say some more stupid shit that we have to comment on.
Who knows? I'm excited. I'm excited to go and hear the dumb shit. I want to hear the dumb shit. Give me that dumb shit. I'm hungry. Twitch, I'm hungry.
Twitch, feed the man. Come on.
Hungry. Come on, Twitch.
Give us tweets. How will we fill out this 45-minute podcast without ripping on Twitch tweets?
Oh my god. We filled out 20 minutes of it with Kmart, so whatever.
Yeah, if we can talk about Kmart forever, then we're good. All right. Speaking of companies saying things, this one is a little stranger and a little more ambiguous than the Twitch situation, which I didn't think was possible, but we're getting there. Microsoft says that they're going to let Bethesda games release on other platforms still for now, but they want to provide an enhanced version or the best version, to quote them directly, of those Bethesda games, and we still don't know what that means. We haven't gotten any clarification on that.
So that was actually a huge stressor on me, believe
Mm-hmm.
it or not, right? Because I really like the Elder Scrolls series. Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, all of them, that's awesome. I would really, really rather see those games come to like PC and other platforms and such like that. And if they made it an Xbox exclusive, i.e., they didn't even come to PC, they'd be shooting an entire group of community members in the foot. Those are the modders that go ahead and make these very complex mods and huge concessions, all right,
Yeah.
and changes to the game. There's a meme that says, "Oh, you Todd Howard goes and looks over to." Um, the meme that I remember is something like that. Oh, Cyberpunk 2077 is being delayed for bug fixes and stuff like that. And Todd Howard is like, "Ha, you don't make your players fix your game for you. Weak."
Yeah.
So to that there's a thought that the community is very important as far as Elder Scrolls games go. There's a lot of official patches, no, unofficial patches like US UESP, unofficial Elder Scrolls patch. There's been that one for Skyrim and Oblivion and Morrowind, and they've made a lot of changes, little bug fixes here and there that a team missed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then not to mention the menu changes and like the optimizations that make the game just run better. Let alone hours and hours of content you could just get squeezed out of Skyrim specifically because of modders, right?
Right.
And it doesn't seem like there's a to see all that go out the window for Elder Scrolls 6, which we don't know anything about yet, right? That's a game that we know absolutely nothing about so far.
Bethesda does tend to be very secretive around releases, which is kind of odd. But you do you, Todd. Whatever.
It works. People still buy the games. Skyrim, they've released Skyrim 8 times, and I own 3 of them. So well, whatever. It works. I eat it up.
Okay,
So,
let's say for a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Modding scene for Skyrim didn't happen. Do you think people are still talking about Skyrim in that timeline?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But I think that modding scene, the modding scene for Skyrim timeline also means that Skyrim was a perfect game from the beginning. So.
Right, because Skyrim was very I don't know what you'd say for that. It was a great platform for modding, and modders really kind of latched onto it as a game to mod specifically. And it has, if I remember right, it was at one point the biggest Steam workshop in terms of things posted.
I think there's still stuff on the Steam Workshop that I care about deeply, right? So the only other game that I imagine has more mods is World of Warcraft. But that's because they make so many versions of World of Warcraft that modders are constantly making new ways on how to break the game, and some mods eventually spawn new ideas into that game itself that are officially picked up. A good example would be there was a mod that allowed you to change the animal that you turned into when you change your druid form, and it was popular enough that they were like, you know what, we can go and do that.
Love it when dev teams do that, and they're like, hey, look at this fan-made thing, hire them. Let them do a thing.
Actual support, yeah.
Or implement the thing. I much prefer the hire them method, but also implement the thing they modded in works too.
I mean, I think they probably hired a bunch of modders. The UI looks great these days, so it's whatever.
I mean, Minecraft's done that on several occasions and bought out mod teams and said, "Hey, come work for us. Come do a thing." And so that's how we wound up with like stuff like pistons and horses.
Oh, yeah, that is true, isn't it? Those are mods at one point in time.
Yeah, the piston mod was huge, and then they implemented it and kind of toned it down a bit, so it was a little more block game-esque, and now it works. It's great. It's a staple of the game at this point.
Can I go ahead and insert something that I don't think anyone knows right now?
Go ahead.
Isn't on our list right now. Hey, Minecraft's getting DLC.
Yeah?
Did you hear this?
Minecraft Dungeons is. I don't know about... Is the actual game getting DLC?
The actual game is getting DLC.
You what? I had not heard about this.
Minecraft is getting a Star Wars crossover, which is going to include new blocks, new skins, new items, new crafting recipes, and everything. I did
see this. I saw this on Twitter. I thought it was a joke. Holy shit.
No, it's real.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of you.
This is very much not a Minecraft thing. Is this for the Bedrock Edition? Because Bedrock Edition does this shit all the time.
I don't know anything about this game at this point.
I'm gonna double check. Star Wars themed DLC. Yeah, okay, it's for the Bedrock Edition, and they have like a whole marketplace store thing. And it's very abnormal for Minecraft to release DLC, but the Bedrock Edition specifically does it all the time.
Oh.
Because it was more so, it was less a conscious decision to say, hey, we're gonna have DLC in this version, not this version, and more of a back when they were making the Xbox 360 edition, they started releasing, because you couldn't upload your own custom skins, so they made skin packs that you could buy on the Xbox Live Arcade and then just download that. But and then that just carried over and became a thing, and now they have a whole DLC store and everything. It's dope. It's a cool thing.
That's exciting. I don't know anything about the Bedrock editions or the whatever it's called. I think it's really cool that that's something that you're just allowed to do. But whatever happens. I'm not in charge of that, and I don't care. Is what it was down to. G. It's cool that it's gonna be. That's not just a skin pack. It's got everything. It's a whole thing.
It's got maps, new textures, new models, and stuff.
I'd use a blaster. I don't think they have blasters, but you know.
Hey, if they do, it's pretty neat. I do want to loop back around to this Microsoft Bethesda thing for a second. Just to point out that at the end of this article, there's a quote from a higher up at Microsoft. I don't know exactly who right now. I'd have to scroll up. Same person I've been quoting and paraphrasing this whole time, mostly paraphrasing. And they say, when we think about Bethesda, we're going to continue to allow. I say allow, but continue to sell their games on platforms that exist today. And we'll determine what that looks like over time, and that will change over time. I'm not making any announcements about exclusivity or something like that, but the current business model will change, is what he says. So that could mean that they're looking at doing it cross-platform for now, for all planned releases currently. And then if that pans out, then they'll keep doing it. That's what I gleaned from that. But
I think one of the things that I need to remember at the end of the day too is that what is it called? That the Xbox during the last big Xbox conference, right? They basically made a pledge that can continue to support PC releases because the PC community is not small. Right?
Game Pass even works on PC.
Yep, and I'm now after the initial scare of we're not going to go and do exclusivity anymore. I realized that I'm a PC gamer and I don't care about any of that. But I waved my hand slightly. The cool thing about all that, and the cool thing about the PC crossover, is that we're going to see games that were normally just not going to be on PC. And a good example would be Fable 4 is going to be on PC, and a bunch of other games are going to be on PC that just were not going to be on PC otherwise.
Isn't the new Halo coming to PC? First time a Halo game has been released natively on PC at launch since Combat Evolved, if I remember right.
Yeah, that is true. And Halo is right now is enjoying an uptick in popularity because of the Master Chief Edition being so rampant at the moment. So.
That collection is an amazing set of games. Like, that's a great set of upgrades for those games.
Halo 4 just got released, and two of my friends are actually playing right now, and one of my friends are watching that playthrough. It seems awesome, and I've always been a big fan of the Halo franchise. Maybe I'll pick it up sometime. Again, I should say.
It's strange, because I haven't played any of the campaigns, but I've done a lot of multiplayer from every game from 2 onward, and I love the Halo series for that.
I like the idea that Halo is your COD, where you don't play the campaign, you just play the multiplayer.
I've always tried... Okay, I say I don't play the campaign. I try to play the campaign every time one comes out, get 10 minutes in, and then realize, hey, I don't quite get what's going on other than walk in room, shoot aliens, and then leave. And also, I don't have several hours to dedicate to this campaign right now. So I'll just go do multiplayer and never come back to it. So, if I get the Master Chief Collection, I vow that if I buy that game, or that set of games, I will stream all the campaigns. I'll do it.
All right. Bret, that's you heard it here, it's gonna happen.
I will become Gordon Ramsay Master Chef and fight aliens.
It's crazy that he only used one clip during the entire game franchise.
Yeah, insane. Oh, it's also a fun FPS fact that I like to bring up whenever I can. The events of Half-Life, alright? The fact that Gordon Freeman did that to begin with is impressive. It becomes more impressive when you realize that he's being injected with morphine every, 20 or 30 minutes.
He's fucking. Oh!
He's extremely zoinked out of his mind for most of that, I'm sure.
Get shot and then just goes fucking wall-eyed.
Yeah, just from the suit.
Morphine injections.
Yeah. Just a
It's
fresh
like,
batch.
Mr. Freeman, here's your soup. And he's fucking gone.
He's just zoinked. He just blacks out and wakes up and he's in Zen.
Oh my god. What a fucking nightmare that is.
Yeah. What a trip. I'm doing Black Mesa right now, which has got me thinking about Half-Life again, which I periodically do every few months. But Black Mesa's fun. I don't know if I brought this up last week, but fun game.
Mm-hmm. I think we have we got like time for like one more, don't we?
Yeah, we could pop off another topic. What are you looking at?
Half-Life.
Oh, we're sticking to Half-Life. All right.
It seems like a good transition. Alex, developer commentary insights. What did you guys find in there? What did you hear?
I just finished. I haven't seen anyone else's takes on these yet.
Yeah.
But there's a guy on YouTube named Two Clicks Philip. He's got like 3 channels and the numbers just different for each thing. And he makes a bunch of videos about video games. And recently he's been uploading clips of Half-Life Alyx, and it just cuts to where a commentary track starts, and he plays through the section with the commentary track going, and then it cuts to the next one through all 8 chapters. And it's amazing. It saved me several hours of playing through Half-Life Alyx again, which is great. But there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Like they talk about how VR players are more likely to notice when sound effects don't match up with things. So they developed a dynamic sound system for Source 2. That way, if you're clicking on a keyboard, or a character's doing an animation of clicking keys on a keyboard, the key clicks line up and are variable from each key. And it's not just like 20 seconds of keyboard clicking that don't line up with the actual animation. And there's a bunch of really neat shit in there. You'd have to like listen to it to find out. But there are over... Do I have the number right here? I don't, but there's at least 3 hours of stuff in there. Of just straight commentary.
Oh man, is there anything decent that we've peered into the abyss and found out? I like the dynamic sound things, but did we find anything crazy, or should we?
Well, there's a little bit of stuff about the development of the game in there, so you can learn a little bit about how certain sections came about, which is kind of just standard fare for Valve developer commentaries. But also, we got a little bit of insight into how playtesters in VR were different to playtesters on just a keyboard and mouse. And that was super interesting to learn about how they basically psychoanalyze these people playing the game to figure out how VR is different. And it gave us a little insight into the development of the Index.
I'm double checking. You can't can you hold on a second. You can't play VR. You can't play Alyx on you can't play Alyx on God, what is it called? Keyboard and mouse, can you?
You can. It's modded to do so. It's not officially supported. But I was just saying that, like, because they were comparing it to playtest footage from Half-Life 2 and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I understand now.
Yeah. Because, like what was really interesting is how they'll notice small things. Like, hey, players have a fun time examining models in VR and getting real up close and having a look at them. Let's design a section with a blind enemy that'll let you get real close up and it gets real tense. Like they built. Have you seen most of Half-Life Alyx at least?
I've seen Half-Life Alyx. You're not gonna spoil anything for me.
Okay, so you remember the whole Jeff chapter, right?
Yes.
That whole thing was based on people being in VR and standing next to characters that were Half-Life 2 models as placeholders and getting real close and being like, hey, I never noticed that before. And somehow they turned that basic concept of, hey, you can get closer and notice details into that amazing section of video game.
Oh, I like that. So it's cool. I once again, I think with Half-Life Alyx, Steam has shown off that it says, hey, look at that. We're good at making video games. Who'd have guessed? So, who knows?
Valve is back, and it's almost like they never left.
Finally. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a Half-Life 3.
Yeah, in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx book that Jeff Keighley wrote, Was it? Is that? Am I getting that name right? I fuck up his name every time I say it, and I get him mixed up with the Xbox guy. Who?
Jeff Keening. No, that's a lie. Don't think that's me source coding you. I was just thinking, it's like, how can I fuck up that name even more?
Nope. Yep. Jeff Keighley. Got it right.
Oh, yeah. Well done.
We're in there. But he does like final hours things for each one and talks about, he sits in on the dev process for Valve games ever since Half-Life 1 and then writes a little thing about it and then makes like a little interactive ebook thing you can go through. And they talk about a potential Left 4 Dead 3 that's been picked up like 4 different times and not finished, so I'm hoping they return to that. I'm hoping we get Left 4 Dead 3. But I don't care. There's a bunch of stuff they didn't get a chance to finish because they eventually just honed in on Alex and didn't really do much else. And most of the other stuff got thrown by the wayside. But, you know, it's cool. I cannot wait to see what Valve's next project is. Maybe even Half-Life 3. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, Valve is now sitting on a pile of money, right? And their dev teams are now not working on Dota. And whatever. So I think we're gonna see some good games. I'm excited to go and see what goes on.
Can't wait for us to be saying this, and then a year look back on this after they release Artifact 2.
Fuck off! Hey, can you do me a huge favor?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'd
play Artifact 2.
Yeah. All right. Let's hop on out of here. I think. What time are we at? Let me double check that before I end us at like 4 minutes. Oh, we're at 46 minutes.
Yeah.
God, this
See, I've been paying attention. See, my brain's up this. We got this. We did it right.
Yeah, I was completely trusting you on that for the most part.
Please clap.
You get 2 claps out of me. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about awkward ending segment?
We got this. Long pause. Okay, so what are we actually thinking?